How are you today? Happy New Year. We're in the new year. Yeah. I'm Dawn Pici, and this is Tactical Thursdays, where I help you gain the tactical skills you need to be successful in your career and in your business. It is great to have goals. It is great to create goals, but that's a very small portion of success. Goal achievement is really the key. What are you doing to achieve your goals? And that's what I'm going to be talking about today. How to achieve the goals that you've been setting. Now, so often, well, let me ask you this. How many of you can right now give me a list of the things that the resolutions you made for last year? How many of you can even remember what the resolutions you had for last year were? You see, we make these and we get really excited, and I kind of call it motivational vertigo. You know, we get really excited, yes, I'm going to do this, la, 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 la. And when I don't hit those, my belief in myself and my belief in my abilities decreases. It decreases. And then the next time I decide, yeah, I'm really going to do it, I get excited, but I don't get as excited because now I'm remembering the time that I failed. And I call it motivational vertigo, where we kind of go up and down, but eventually we don't want to face that failure anymore. And so we don't make the resolutions that we used to. So this year you have some goals, some resolutions. What I recommend first is to get a 3x5 card and write them down. And it may only just be one. It may be, I'm going to take courses to improve my skills in yada yada, whatever it is. It may just be one thing, but put it on a 3x5 card and look at it every day. Look at it every day. This is one of the things that really helps your mind to stay focused on the most important things, because here's what happens in life. We become slaves to the urgent. It's called tyranny of the urgent. In tyranny of the urgent, basically the tail is wagging the dog. We get so busy with urgent things that we don't take care of the really important things. Now, I'm not saying that urgent things aren't important, but there's two categories of important that we're going to talk about today. Because until I can really gain control over the urgent things in my life, I will not ever accomplish the things that I need to accomplish to be successful. So for instance, some urgent things, I have to get dinner out. I'm a wife and a mother. This food has to be thrown out on a table so that other people who live in our residence can survive. All right, so those are kinds of things, and then to put out food, I have to go to the grocery store. These are urgent kinds of things, and they are urgent. However, they're not the type of important that helps me be successful. Let me explain. There are two types of activities. There are present-based activities, and there are future-based activities. This is critical. A present-based activity is something that's important. It's like, I have to get the house clean. But you know what? The house is going to get dirty again. All right? Dust is going to accumulate. That is a present-based activity. Present-based activities, if our life, when you make your plan for every day, for every week, for every month, if all that's on your to-do list are present-based activities, you're not going to get ahead. You're not going to be able to reach those resolutions, those goals that you set up, because the tail is going to be wagging the dog. Then there are future-based activities. Future-based activities are things like that course I was talking about. I need to take this course so that I can improve myself, so that I can move ahead in my career. I have to make time for that. Future-based activities usually don't fit too well into our schedule. For instance, if you're going to take that course, well, it may cost you money. it's going to cost you time, which means if you have children, you're going to have to get babysitters, whatever it is. Future-based activities, we really have to part the waters of our life to get to. And this is a critical thing because usually when we get to the end of the year and somebody will want to coach with me because they want the next year to be better. And we'll talk about the prior year. And they'll say, I wanted to do this, 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 and this, but I just couldn't get to it. I just couldn't find the time. Dawn, help me find the time. This is a question that comes to me all the time. Dawn, how do you get everything done that you get done? How do you do this? How do you put on these events? And how do you get all the things done that you get done? And we all have the time to do the things that we deem are important. So when I say I didn't have time to get to that today, what I'm really saying is it didn't have that much priority. There were things that had greater priority. It wasn't that important. Here's what trips you up. You get so busy with present-based activities, the tyranny of the urgent. I got to get this done, that my future-based activities get pushed to the side. That's the first thing. So when you look at your schedule on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, are you making the time for those future-based activities? Here's an example. A present-based activity is, I hear this all the time, I have to get through this paperwork. I got to get this paperwork off my desk before I can think. It's just it's too cluttered. I've got to straighten this out before I can think. And then I'll get to picking up the phone and calling prospective clients. See, picking up the phone and calling prospective clients is definitely a future-based activity. It's a future-based activity because it's talking about how I might sell something in the future. Cleaning up my desk, that's a present-based activity. This is the thing that people do, and I hear them all the time. Well, first I have to get everything organized before I can pick up the phone. I have to take care of this. I have to take care of that. I got to get the kids to school. La 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 la. And then it gets to be 11 o'clock in the morning, and they're like, "Oh, well, it's close to lunch. I think I'll have lunch, and then I'll get to making some phone calls, and then I'll get to this, or then I'll get to that." And the phone calls never happen. Well, tomorrow, I'll get to this tomorrow. And then something happens tomorrow. A present-based, urgent activity. And the future-based gets pushed into the future. into some time into the future. And then, we're 6 weeks into the new year and you don't even remember what those resolutions and those goals were. So, if you're going to be able to get to these future-based activities that are going to change, because future-based activities are going to make changes in your life and your lifestyle. Instead of just the same old grind, future-based activities are going to change where you are, where your career is, where your business is. So as you look at your schedule, make sure that you have put in some future-based activities. Here's an example. One of the things that we teach our clients who come to us for sales training is make 10 sales calls a day. Make 10 calls a day. Everybody has time to do 10 calls. I don't care who you are, how busy your life is. Everybody has time to make 10 calls a day. If you make 10 calls a day and you only work 5 days a week, that's 50 calls in a week. That's 200 calls in a month. Do you think you might pick up a few new clients if you did that? Yes. Yes, you would. We've had a young lady came to us for sales coaching, and she was in the insurance industry, and we got her making 10 calls a day. And she was in an office where there were 33 people in the sales force in that office, and when they ranked them for effectiveness, she was at the bottom. She was number 33. We took her from number 33 to number 3 in 120 days. in 120 days, just making 10 calls a day. So those calls are future-based activities. So number one, you want to set up a structure to your day where that future-based activity has number one priority. Has number one priority. This has to get done. And what I recommend is that you look in each area of your life. You know, you have your career or business, you have your family, you have your spiritual life, you have your health and fitness, you have recreation, you might have hobbies, whatever it is. I want you to take a look at each facet of your life and set a future-based activity for each one. What is it that you are trying to accomplish in each area of your life? And then that future-based activity needs to be in your calendar, in ink. One of the key issues. I want to finish with this because I think there's a psychology here to doing things, to getting to these future-based activities that we're not aware of. It's subliminal. And that is present-based activities give us instant gratification. You know, I clean up that office and it looks good. And so I get this instant gratification from doing that. If I do a future-based activity, it's always delayed gratification. You know, if I decide I'm going to take courses, and it's going to take me 2 years to get this degree or to finish this line of training. If I'm saving money so that I can get some training or whatever it is, that future-based activity is delayed gratification. And we do not live in a delayed gratification world. I'll give you an example. Some of you are from my generation, and you remember when we had to wait till 6 o'clock at night to see the news, to find out what was going on in the world. You know, we had to wait for the evening paper to get the news. And now we want to know what's going on in the world. We just turn on the internet. We don't have to wait. We don't have to wait. We got microwave ovens. I remember the world before microwaves. You know, it's interesting because I saw a study one time and they said when Pearl Harbor happened in 1941, it took 14 days for that information that event had happened to go around the world. In 1963, when John Kennedy was assassinated, it took about 14 minutes for that information to get around the world. When the Twin Towers fell in 2001, it took less than 14 seconds to get that information around the world. We are not in a society that practices or has to practice delayed gratification. And yet, if I'm going to be successful, if those resolutions, those goals that you have set up are going to happen, then you are going to have to part the ways and make time for the future-based activities that are going to get you where you want to go. Do this today. Before you forget, write down those goals on your 3x5 card, piece of paper, I don't care, you know, and start looking at it every day. Start looking at it every day and planning your days, your weeks, your months around those future-based activities. Put the other urgent things, make them fit into the puzzle around the most important things that need to take place. This is Dawn Pici helping you gain that unfair advantage over your competition. And let me tell you, if you want to follow us, go to, we have our website here, LinkedIn, but also check us out on Periscope. Tuesday nights, 8 o'clock. Joe is out there every Tuesday night. And keep sending me those questions of the things you want to learn how to do. And I'll see you next week. You take care. Make it a powerful week.